Welcome to another runner's strength workout video. In today's workout, we're going to focus on some core and glute exercises. All you're going to need is a resistance band and you can do this workout at home. Hey runners, my name is Alina Kennedy. I'm a physiotherapist and owner of The Runner's Physio. I'm excited to get started with today's workout. Like I said, you can do this workout at home. You won't need any equipment except for a resistance band, and even this is optional. So if you don't have one of these, don't stress. This just adds a little bit more of a challenge to the workout. So let's get started. For exercise 1, we're going to loop the band around our feet. So that's just going to go around the center of your feet if you are using a resistance band. And then I'm going to get you to go into an all fours position. So you're going to place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And then finding that neutral spine position. So you're going to tuck your shoulder blades in a little bit and make sure your lower back isn't too dipped or too arched. So just nice and center there. And then we're going to start with a slide back of one leg and then a slide back of your other leg. The key with this exercise is you want to keep your trunk really still as your leg is moving. So you shouldn't be twisting or rotating through your back at all there. Staying nice and still and controlled. Just sliding one leg back and then the other. Controlling that movement, trying to make sure that you're leading the movement with your hips and squeezing your glutes, particularly at the end of that movement, just engaging some of those glute muscles. One more on each side. And then we're going to start with the right leg. You're going to slide your leg back and hold it there now. From here, we're going to do little leg lifts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. As you do this, again, your trunk is really still. So you're not dipping your back, you're not moving your torso at all. That stays really still and the movement is isolated to your hip. So as you lift your leg up, you should be squeezing your bum, feeling that in your glutes and your hamstrings. Nice and controlled there. 2 more on this side. Good. Slide that leg back and then slide your other leg, so your left leg back now. Make sure that you feel really strong and stable through your torso, through your core, and then doing little leg lifts here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Two more, going for 12. Good, slide that leg back. I'm going to go back to the first side and repeat. So going for 12 reps here. Back to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Slide that leg back. Readjust your all fours position. And then all you're going to do from here is lift your knees off the ground. And we're going to hold this bear hold position. This is similar to a plank, but instead of your knees being straight, we've got your knees bent. And you're still just holding strong in this position. Working through your core, working through your shoulders and your arms, staying nice and strong. Make sure you're breathing comfortably through this whole movement. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just go into a stretch, a child's pose stretch here. So sit back on your heels, stretch your arms out and drop your chest to the floor. Take a nice deep breath and relax. Just going to take a few deep breaths here with each breath, trying to lower your chest closer to the floor. Okay, the band is still going to be around your feet, and you're still going to have your shoulders underneath, your wrists underneath your shoulders. I'm going to get you to slide one leg out. So you've got one leg straight, the other knee is bent, and with the leg that is straight out, we're going to tap out, come back in. So it's not a very big movement. You're probably only moving about half a foot or about 15 centimeters or so. And again, focusing on keeping your torso really still, really stable as you do this movement. Two more. Awesome, swap to the other side. Straighten your other leg and tap out and in. Good stuff. Go back to your first side and repeat. And other side again. Five more, going for 10 reps. Good stuff. All right, we're going to get rid of the band for a minute. Let's put that over to the side. I'm going to get you to have a lie on your back now. So having a lie on your back, it's nice and comfortably. Take a moment to just draw your shoulders back and tucked down. Your knees are bent and I want your feet pretty close to your backside there. And first thing we're going to do is just find a neutral, or we're going to go into more of a flat back position here. So I'm going to get you to just tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. And what that essentially feels like is lifting your lower back or arching your lower back, and then flattening your lower back on the ground. So just getting a little bit of that movement through your lower back. And I ultimately want you to find that position where your lower back is flat, really flat, and pressing your lower back down into the mat. Then once your lower back is flat, I want you to try and squeeze through some of these glute muscles by pressing your lower back even further into the floor. So you're really going to engage some of those core muscles. As you do that though, make sure you're still breathing. So you don't want to tense your whole body. You're trying to isolate the tension to your lower back, to your core, and to your pelvis there. So once you feel those muscles are engaged, I'm going to get you to lift your arms straight up in the air. And then you're going to lift one leg up and the other leg up. As you do this, your lower back should stay flat on the ground. Just going to hold this position. If you feel your lower back arching, or if you feel any pain in your lower back, I'm going to get you to just lower one leg down and try this movement with one leg on the ground, one leg up. If you feel like you can control the movement, you're going to keep both legs straight up in the air and really just focusing on keeping your lower back pressed into the ground as hard as you can and really isolating that movement, isolating the tension of those muscles into your core. If you feel like this is too easy, you can extend your legs further out and challenge yourself by extending your legs out. But again, make sure your lower back stays really flat on the ground. You shouldn't be feeling any pain in your lower back. You shouldn't be feeling tension in your lower back. You shouldn't be feeling any arching in your lower back. And then from here, we're going to do leg extensions. So no matter where your legs were for the last exercise, we're going to practice some of these extensions. So if you had one leg on the ground, you're going to extend the leg that's in the air. If you had your legs in this 90-degree bend, you're going to extend one leg and then alternate to the opposite leg. If your legs are extended further out, you're still going to be doing the same sort of extension. Nice slow movement here. You don't need to be rushing this movement. It's very much a controlled type of movement, focusing on stabilizing through your pelvis and your lower back. So again, you shouldn't be arching your lower back as your legs extend out. Your lower back should stay absolutely flat. You shouldn't have any movement in your torso as you're doing this. If you have one foot on the ground, swap to the other leg. And we're going to hold this position again. Breathe, press your lower back into the ground as hard as you can. Stabilize. And then we're going to move your arms back. So both arms going back and coming back to center. Again, your legs should be in a position that feels challenging, but where your lower back isn't moving, isn't under any pain or tension, and your lower back is flat on the ground without any of that arching happening. And do 3 more. Good stuff. All right. Next exercise, we're going to go into a side plank. So you're going to have your elbow underneath your shoulder. And then we're either going to do this one on your knees, so you can be in this position holding that, or on your feet. So we're going to lift up and focus on pressing your hips straight up, holding this position. Breathe through this. Make sure that you stay really stable. The biggest thing with a side plank, the biggest cheat most people have, is either dropping their hips or rotating their hips. So make sure your hips are really high and you're not rotating that top hip forwards or backwards. It needs to be vertically above your bottom hip. Just Just gonna hold and breathe. Awesome, swap to the other side. Again, either on your knees or your feet with this one. You're going to have your shoulder and your elbow vertically in line, lifting yourself up, making sure your hip is lifted and vertically stacked. Fifteen more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You can do those side planks once more on each side. It's back to your first side, elbow underneath shoulder, lift up and holding for 30. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Over to the other side. Last side plank here. Lifting yourself up, finding that good position and holding. Ten more seconds. And done. Alrighty. Next couple of exercises, we're going to use a wall. So find a spot at home where you can press your leg up against a wall. So the first exercise we're going to do is going to be a lunge with one foot pressing up against the wall. So what I want you to do is stand with one leg quite a long stance away from the wall, and your other leg is going to be pressing into the wall. So your other foot is pressing into the wall. And I really want you to create some tension by pressing back with this one. With this leg, we're just going to do little bends. So these are little lunges here. So lowering down, pressing back up. Your back foot doesn't move. So you're really leading this movement with this front leg. Just lowering down, pressing back up. Also, just make sure that this knee isn't falling inwards. So you want to keep your knee pressing straight out. It's not a very big movement, but you will feel a good amount of muscle work happening through this glute and quad. 2 more. Nice. Swap to the other side. So press your back foot into the wall. Stabilize, feel nice and strong in this leg before you start. And then we're just lowering down, coming back up. Going for 10. Two more. Nice. Next exercise, we're going to be pressing into the wall here and doing single leg calf raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Over to the other side. 1, 2. Really lift your heel up as high as you can. We're going to go back to the lunges again. So we're going to do one more round of the lunges and the calf raises. And other side, 10 more here. Nice work. Back to the single leg calf raises. Stand on one leg, lift up as high as you can, control down. 2, going for 10, 3, Good stuff. Last exercise is going to be a lunge. So nice and simple. We're just going to go for 2 lots of 10 reps on each side. So for your lunges, you want to stand with your feet quite far apart. Make sure your knees are both aligned straight forward, not collapsing in. And I want you to focus the movement by bending your back knee down to the ground. And 10, swap to the other side. Good stuff. Last set on each side. 10 reps. Last 10, let's do it. All right, there you have it. Today's workout. Hope you enjoyed it. I wish you happy and healthy running. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Until next time, see ya.